Finally figured out how to bleed our brakes properly, finally, till the last drop here. You can see here. Okay, it's very tight now. Oh, it's squirting. So what I'm going to do is put the cap back on. There we go. Let's go and tap it some more before we put the cap on, in case we need to further down it. So let's go ahead and get from this side here. That way you can see both angles. Okay, so here we go. Gonna tap it with some more brake fluid. Gentle does it. Okay. Again, we're not trying to measure it yet. We're just gonna go ahead and try to get it full as much as we can, because we're still siphoning it. Okay, try to get all the air bubbles out. You can see here, we did clean this earlier with a brake fluid just to get the flow going. So I guess this was congested as well in there. So now we got this tightened, and we put a little piece of paper here to help hold the socket in place, because our socket was slipping off. That'll be easier for us. Now every time we squeeze, you can see here, I'm going to do a little light squeeze. Now the minute when we release back, that's when it might squirt, so gotta be really careful. Now you can see how tight it is here. I can only squeeze, before I can use squeeze all the way, no problem. Now it's getting tight. The reason why is, if you look at it when I'm squeezing this, you can see the brake caliper move. See that? The brake caliper is slightly moving. There we go. Maybe you can see it now. That means the brake caliper is doing its job, is compressing the brake pads. There it is. Brake pads are coming out. Okay. Air bubbles is frictioning this one. So we can't put a lid on it too much because it's already flowing a little bit almost to the rim. So we'll wait till it gets a little lower, then we'll put a cap on it. Okay, for right now, we're just going to go ahead and continue on bleeding it, and we're going to try to get all the air bubbles out. So we're going to see me release it and back. This is all the grime stuff that we got out of it. Look at that. That was the old leftover just from that little bit of that we couldn't get through the reserve, because this is a new brake line. So that just came out from all the clunk. Pretty nasty stuff. There we go. Alright, so you can see me crack it open. Let me get an angle where you can actually see the whole process in play. Alright. There we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep pumping as much as I can, which I can't. You can see how clear it is now, but there will still be a little bit of air coming in. There we go. The minute I release it, I can actually feel the brake lever being loose. I can actually go all the way. Once you crack it open, it lets the pressure back off of the leveler. And there it goes, tightening it back again. I'm holding the leveler as I'm actually, about to, when I tighten it, I can let go of the lever. Now it's tightened back. Now I'm going to pump again. Now it's tightening the lever. You can see here the caliper is moving because the brake pad's actually doing its job. But we don't want to worry about it yet. We just want to make sure we bleed it. I think we're almost done, actually. So we're going to siphon it. I don't see any more air. You might have a little spaticle, but there's not a big deal. And it's clean brake fluid now. There it goes. Just a few little more spaticles here. I can do a little bit more. And besides, I need to get some. I need to alleviate some off the reserve anyway. There's one coming right here. Little air bubble there. See that little guy? So that's what we're trying to capture all of them. Let them all come out. Yeah, it took a while to get to this point though. It looked like it was blowing a lot of debris, and it kept on resetting it back. And I think the Pit Posse tool is helping out a lot now. There we go. Keep an eye on the reserve because it's pumping a lot more. You can actually go empty, and when you go empty, that means everything's going to reset itself. So be really, really cautious of that. So let me go and get the screwdriver back in here. Lock it down. Let's look at our reserve. See, look at how fast our reserve are going. Very fast now. Before, when we first started, it was like barely like moving it. Now it's like really going fast. So, all right. So let's go and keep topping it off. I'm going to top off the reserve. This is lock, right? Okay, good. Okay, let's go and top off the reserve. make sure we get all the air bubbles out. There we go. All right, the reserve is topped off to the one corner here. And let's continue on. Siphon it till we don't see any more air bubbles. Okay. You guys can see where I'm at. All right. Pumping it feels tight. I can't even pump it all the way, which is good. There we go. Crack it. Pump. Crack it. Pump. Hold down. Crack it. Pump. Hold down. Crack it open. Great. I think we're about there already. It's one little spaticle here. Pump. Okay. Oh wow, look at that. That was a big air bubble. Gush of it. That's what I was afraid of. Look at that. We don't want those air bubbles. Okay, hold down, crack it open. All right. Hold down, crack it open. All right. Let's just check our reserve. All right, our reserve is still, the minute it's halfway, I'm already very conscious of it. I start refilling it right away because you think that you have time to do it, but kid you not, it goes really fast. It's like drinking it now. So it's like drinking a jug of milk right now. So we're gonna go ahead and top it off some more and repeat the process until we don't see any more. Oh, repeat the process until we don't see any more air bubble. There we go. That was a gush in the air bubble, huh? Okay. Hold down the lever. Crack it. Burst. Pump it. Burst. We might not be able to get every single air bubble, but we're going to do our best to get most of it, right? Hope my arm's not blocking you guys. Okay. All right, almost there. There's that one air bubble. This is kind of fun now doing this, especially when you see progress. Okay, there we go, almost. Got a few more pumps. Almost. We'll check our reserve again. Just a little bit. We don't want to see like a dramatic air bubble. Almost. Oh wow, there we go. Let's check our reserve. Again, our reserve is going really fast now. It's got halfway again. Look at that. So what that means is, let's tap it up again. Now we're just drinking that. We're gonna save the other half for the other side too. So okay, there we go. We're about half the can ready now. I think the first phase was just actually learning how to use the pit posse tool and bleeding it and getting a feel for it. But now I think it's going pretty fast. Now we should know. I think we might have been looking for perfection here, but I think it should be good. Like if you see an indication like this right here, we're pretty much okay. There we go. The reason why you keep on tapping the reserve is if it reaches empty, the only way it's going to suck back is air, and then we don't want that. That'll defeat the whole purpose of us doing this whole thing. All right. All right. All right, this is good. I'm going to do one more, and that's it. That's it. It's pretty clean. You're not going to get every single one of them, but let's do one more. All right, there we go. Let's look at our reserve while we're doing that. Yep, now we can go ahead and tap our reserve to where the proper level is. You can see here, since I cracked it open, I did this. Now watch, I release it back, and I try to go for it. It won't let me. That's a good tight feel. And this is it, we're done. We're gonna go ahead and tighten back our screws. Woo! Okay, it's good tight. Now we're gonna remove the hose. But before we move that, let's go ahead and tap this properly to the level. where it should be. This is the filling it to the where the cap should be. I just passed a little. There you go. That should be good. Maybe a little more. That's it. I just passed a little circle there, but when it levels off, it might be just a little bit more. That's it. All right. So now we're gonna go and put the cap, and we're gonna put this one right here. So we're gonna join them together. Here we go. Wipe it clean. You don't want any moisture or anything like that, or any kind of brake fluid on the top of the plastic here. Just want to wipe it really thoroughly clean. Okay, and then the back one, we'll repeat the same process for the back one. The back one's going to be a little longer stretch, but once you get the hang of it, it should be the same process. All right, so there's it. We're going to put the plastic diaphragm back in place. That, very nice. All right. Oh, you want to wipe this area clean as well. So let's go ahead and get our part of our clean shop rag here. And look at that, we spilled quite a few. And again, brake fluid is really harsh on paint, so get it like a warm cloth after this, after you seal everything up. Yeah, looks like it's polishing it nice and coated, but you definitely still want to rub it off though. You don't want to get brake fluid. Keep it insulated if you can. All right. Okay, we'll get that little last piece here once we seal the top part. Maybe I can get it right now. I don't want to keep jurgling, but so mainly just focus on cleaning the top. Perfect. All right, and then you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put an NCY cylinder cap, master cylinder cap. Let's see. This one should do it. It comes with its own screws. I wish they start making them with Allen wrenches. I think those are a little bit more better to break off, and also guarantee that you can break it off versus the Phillips strips easily. So these are the NCY one. Beautiful, aren't they? So it's not going to help us with our brake bleeding, but it sure aesthetically is pleasing though. Look at that. See here, very nice quality from NCY. NCY always make good quality parts. Show you all the round. It's a nice feel to it, and versus the the black one here, you can see the difference. Let me hold it up right again. Yep. We'll just have to remember ours is .3, which just doesn't really say specifically .3. It just says .3 or .4. So our brake fluid of choice is .3 synthetic. Let me go and close that up. Then we'll do the back one. Cool. There we go. Let's go and put that bad boy in there. Oh, where is our rubber? Blow any debris that you have away from your fluid container. There it is. Beautiful, isn't it? You can see the very bottom, and then also coming from around, you can see it's very, this is the way the color should be. Almost like a light, almost like water, really. Very light color. Okay, we're gonna put that in there. And we'll check it in a couple of days to make sure how's it doing. And then we need to tap it with some more. Okay, here's our NCY one. Aesthetically, I think it looks beautiful. Look at that. It's gonna come down this way. We're gonna put the new chrome ones. I think chrome one looks good, or you think we should go with the gunmetal? I mean, the gunmetal from our rust remover created. I think the gunmetal from our rust remover did a pretty good job. We'll probably keep it with the gunmetal. See how I have it still here in my pocket, which I do. Okay. Also, I found some M&Ms. I like the gunmetal one. Let's go back with the gunmetal. The one we created from the rust remover, huh? There you go. The gunmetal one looks better. Again, amazingly, what it did was I used this, and it just kind of grayed everything out. I'm not sure where it got the metal from, but it might have been from the paint removed from one of them. But it turned it to gunmetal. So I kind of like that side effect. Okay, screw it in. And our front brake caliper is bleeded and is done for safety. Woo! It was a doozy though. Learning how to use the pit posse. It shouldn't have been that hard, but I should spot check and clean out the hose beforehand. What I do is I tighten one fairly snug, and the other one I go ahead and snug it really well, and then I go back after the other one as well, and then back to the other one, back and forth a little bit. Just want to make sure. Okay. There we go. All right, it's there. That one's one down. One more to go. Right here. And the same process. You can see I left it on here. See the final little air bubbles are coming out. That's so funny. Like, what's it planning to do? It's coming out little by little. All right, we're tightening it. It's ready to go. I think it's from probably just the hose itself. Look at that. It's coming on its own. I'm not even doing anything. Yeah, you can come all out. That's interesting, huh? I wonder where it's coming from. Maybe it's coming, I guess maybe from the remaining when this is tightened down or something. Who knows? That's so interesting. Yeah, clean this up really well. Clean the areas here. Yeah, so our brakes are squeezing that disc really well here. And then when you start driving, it'll go back to loosen for you. Yeah, right now it's... So we can still roll the bike and everything. It's not like, you know, fully squeeze it yet because the lever is all the way open. But when we squeeze it further, it'll gravitate to it. What a lot of people do also is they take a tie strap and they have it held on like this. Like just to help it further get any bit of extra air out. And you could do that too. We could do that. Let's do it. We're not planning to use the bike maybe until tomorrow. We're going to put the panels on for the seat cover, put the battery, and then I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to turn on the, what do you call that? Turn on. I'm going to turn on the gas there. Well, we don't need a big one. We probably need this one. Probably fit all around our handlebar. Let's get two of them so we can prepare for the back one as well. And we'll leave it on for 24 hours. And what that does is squeezes any bit extra air, while we can also inspect to see if our brakes are acting up any oddly. So here we go. Tie strap it. Probably want to get more of it to the metal one, but it's good enough. All right. You don't have to do it too hard. Just enough there. There we go. See? We'll just leave that on there like that. So it's constantly squeezing it. Now we're going to have a problem. How are we going to roll the bike back into our garage? So we might want to put the tie strap afterwards. How about that? Put the tie strap, leave it there for overnight, and then come back, and hopefully that'll squeeze any extra bit of air bubbles that might be inside the tube still. So awesome. And now we're going to get started on this one. And this one we're going to repeat the same process. If you wasn't aware, you can stick around here. I'm going to pretty much do it while I have you guys on here. You remember the three components comes on there. You got the plastic cover, you got the rubber diaphragm, and then you got the two Phillips that's holding the aluminum. Well, this one's already been thoroughly cleaned up as well, but we still need to go ahead and go back here, attach our bleeder hose, and start the whole process all over again. So you're more than welcome to stick around and watch me do this again. It's going to be the same process. It's going to be hard to reach the other angle, but we'll be able to do it. Okay. There we go. Pop that bleeder cap off. Don't careful not to rip it though. You don't want to damage. I'll just kind of try to bend it downward a little bit. All right, there we go. Put this in a safe place. Continue. We're going to pull from the front now our bleeder that we're not using anymore in the front. There we go. We're going to wipe down any excessive hanging around there. All right, so here we go. Put the cap on that one. Clean it up really well. Okay, so we brought this one back here. You can see here now, we got the whole unit here, including the directional where it's supposed to go, and also the old fluid there from the front. This is how much came out of the front, and all the coloration that what we use. So that's how much brake fluid we kept on having to refill. Okay, so we're going to put this hose in here. You see it right there? Don't worry about the bottle hanging in the bottom. You guys remember how we did the bottle, right? We pretty much took our scissor, cut a little slit open to it. All right, so there it goes. That's sealed. I'm going to go ahead and start prepping the bib. I'm going to need a new paper towel for that one. Okay, I'm going to take a rip to this. Just a little rip. Enough there to create a little bib. Okay, we're going to place this over here. Yeah, we got a little bit more rubber area here to protect, but the same concept. Here we go again. Nice finger it in there. Take a Q-tip here. Use that as a pressure point. There we go. Tuck in our bib here. Make sure it's level. I think this is a pretty good level. You can almost see the you see that little inside. See how clean that is now? Again, when we squeeze it, is there any fluid right now? Anyway, we'll filter it out through the other end anyway. So here we go. We're gonna get our brake fluid. Now we're gonna have to twist this in a way where we can get our wrench underneath here. So why don't we go ahead and prepare? Well, let's tap this while we have it opening. Okay, here we go. I always want to be careful with this. All right, there we go. See, this is much more level. You can see here. It's from 360 there. See that? That's how you can tell it's leveled, because the liquid itself can tell you. Okay, so let's go and close this. We're going to be coming back to this back and forth for a little bit. Let's go and bring in that neatly there. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to prepare to open and close this. Now you're going to see this end, but remember again how I squeeze the brake lever. I squeeze about maybe 5, 6, 7 times. You can see the bottle here. Try to get you a good angle. Okay, so we're going to get a feel for this. So righty-tighty, this is tight. And then we're going to loosen it. We're going to crack it open like that. So we're going to go and prepare, put our ratchet where we feel like we can open and close easily. So this is closed. This will be open. This will be closed. This will be open. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold that there. I'm going to go ahead and reach over to the steering wheel here. I'm careful turning it because you got fluid here. In fact, we should put the very plastic cap on top. So let's go and get the cap here. We just need the plastic one. Yeah, we're definitely going to come back for these ones, these little gunmetal that we made from what it was the same silver stock. One brake fluid in, another one down. We're almost there.
Hey. Well, just how good shape is going to be in.
Better than me for sure, because it already took a toll on my back. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and put the cap here just to protect it. Keep an eye on the reserve. Maybe no more than like, I think maybe 10 pumps the most. We have to come back and check our reserve. You can see here I angled this right here where I can reach it easily, and also show you guys how I'm going to crack it open. Let's see here. I want you guys to see all the full view here. This will give me good. Okay, let's see. All right, here we go. Okay, so right now it's righty-tighty, right? I'm gonna pump. Oh boy, I was afraid of that. When we turn our steering wheel, I totally forgot. It's not level now. Now that's why there's a little spill, but that's okay. Because when we turn our steering wheel, we need to reach it. That's why we turned it. So now I'm gonna go and pump the brake. I'm gonna reach over here. Oh boy. So I'm just gonna pump the brake first. In fact, you know what? What I'll do is I'll pump the brake while you can actually see. What you want to do is actually pump it first anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this back level. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna pump it first. Look, oh man, the bib's almost soaking. Okay, there we go. All right, so what we're gonna do is pump it first to kick all the air out. There we go. So you want to do is actually focus on pumping this until you see no more air. That's the best way I found out how to start it. Just keep on doing this. What it's doing is siphoning the fluid and the air coming out of the hose. So just keep doing this, and first until the fluid actually, but just make sure again, you pretty much tighten that down on that end right there. So we're gonna go ahead and keep pumping this. Until all the air comes out. It's gonna be a while. Might be about 5-10 minutes really. Just pumping until what it is the fluid's replacing the air from the hose air. See, if you look at it, it's actually going down now, the fluid. See the level there? See, it's actually going down even though we haven't have it open yet. It's still filling in the hose for us. So this is the first step you want to do actually. Especially if you have put a brand new hose, you're going to have to do it this way. That's the only thing that separates it from if you're just cycling your old brake fluid out. If you don't have any brake fluid at all in your hose, you have to come up and let it actually feed into the hose first, so you don't have to worry about breaking open the bleeder valve yet. So worry about just getting all the, and then we're going to start tapping it soon. You can see here is almost clearing the circle. You can see this way, you can measure it easily. You can see that? Still air coming out because there's so much to fill in that hose. So once that hose is filled up, then we can go ahead and start the process of doing it if we were just trying to bleed the existing brake fluid out. Again, this is all due to 3 hours of learning. So there's no point of going in there and waiting for it to break open and pumping, break open, pumping, because you're not going to be able to get the fluid into the brake hose. So go ahead and just close the brake up and brake bleeder and keep on pumping. You can see here, there we go. You can see all that gut stuff. It's almost pushing itself out now from this end. You can see it better here from the shadow effect. See that? It's almost low. You don't want to go all the way low again. Purpose of it is not to get oil exposed. When it goes halfway like this, I start tapping it, because I'm afraid that, you know, if I wait too long, I might forget, you know, get caught up in someone's conversation, and next thing you know, I just expose air to it and all that siphoning for nothing. So we're going to pour some more. Oh, getting a little ahead of myself there. Okay, close it up right away. You don't want an accident. Okay, let's keep on cycling this through. Again, this is only because we have to, because of the brand new brake line that we installed. Since this one's actually almost 2.5 size of the front brake line, it's going to take a lot more fluid to fill in that line first. So this is what it's doing. It's filling the line and squeezing out the air from the line coming back from this end. That's why you can see I can do it so easily here. See that? That's what happens when there's not any pressure at all and there's air. Your brake lever is just kind of limpy. But as soon as you start seeing the brake pad do this job, you're going to see this tighten. And you're going to see that in a few, after we cycle all the oil here. You can see it's going down again. So we might have to tap it a third time just to fill in that brake line. And this is just to fill in the brake line. That's how much fluid is actually constantly in the brake line. Cool. There we go. There's no more air actually, but it's still going to the brake line.